Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Katie Snow, and today we are making no-bake lemon beet bars. These are a delicious recipe that I come up with myself, and we're trying to get more beets into the body. So how can we do that? And making yummy recipes with beet powder has been lots of fun. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you the ingredients that we use for these bars. So we are using unsweetened coconut flakes. These are organic. We need about 4 cups of these, so I have 2 big bags. And then we're going to be using virgin coconut oil, cold pressed. Make sure when you're buying coconut oil that you are buying a virgin cold pressed coconut oil, not refined. Want to make sure there's no chemical process that went on to make this, and so we don't want any contaminants in our coconut oil. So the next ingredient is our red beet powder. So this is a fermented organic red beet powder, and so that's all that's in there is beets, and this has been fun to make some recipes with. And beets, just so you know, are so important for circulation, for energy, and a lot of beet powders on the market have added sugar. So this one is lower in sugar. A lot of people are using this now for a pre-workout, or adding it to green tea for a pre-workout. So this has been a really fun product that we formulated, red beet powder, and we're going to be using this as one of the main ingredients in this recipe. And then we're going to be using an organic lemon. So we're going to be using the zest. I'm going to zest the outside, and then we're also using the juice. So 1 lemon, the zest of the whole lemon, and the juice of the whole lemon. So we have our zester and our juicer ready to go. And then we're going to be using pitted dates, so make sure they are pitted. If they are just regular dates and they've not been pitted, make sure that you open the date up and take the pit out before you use it in any of these recipes, because it's not good for your blender and not good for your food processor, and it'll ruin your ingredients. You'll have to throw everything out because you can't get the little pit fragments out. So because we're using dates for this recipe, it's not considered a low carbohydrate recipe, but I wanted to show you how you could make it low carbohydrate. So this is a product that we use. It's monk fruit sweetener, made from Lakanto is the company. And what you could do in this recipe, and I'll show it in the description below, is you can make it with all the ingredients except for the dates. You can leave those out, but we'll add an extra cup of the coconut flakes, and then you can add about a 1/2 cup to a cup of this as a replacement sweetener. So just an option. If you want to make this low carb, you can use the monk fruit sweetener, and it's easy. So I like the monk fruit sweetener because it doesn't have the aftertaste that stevia has. And so if you're going to use a lower calorie sweetener, this is my favorite one. So, all right, we'll go ahead and get started. So we're using the unsweetened coconut flakes, and we want 4 cups. So it's a lot of coconut in this recipe, but because we're processing it, it's not going to have that flaky texture that some people don't like. So if you're making this for a group of people, and you know maybe somebody doesn't like coconut because of the texture, tell them to give it a try, because it is actually going to have all the texture blended pretty well with the coconut oil and the other ingredients, the dates. Okay, so we've got 4 cups, which is almost the whole bag. And we'll go ahead and pulse this just a little bit to get it a little more fragmented. Okay, and then we're gonna add the coconut oil. We want 1/4 cup of that. So again, make sure it's, when you're buying coconut oil, we don't want refined, so make sure that it's an organic, cold pressed, virgin coconut oil. So we have, remember you want to make sure they're already pitted. Which these are, but always check, because sometimes these companies, they say pitted, and so I just give it a little squeeze. But we're going to do 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those definitely don't have a pit in them. And so next step is we added the coconut flakes, the coconut oil, and the dates. Go ahead and puree this pretty good. Mix it pretty evenly. Okay, so that was about a minute that we blended. And so it's kind of a light and fluffy, a little bit moist because of the dates, so it's perfect mixed. And next we're going to do the lemon. We went ahead and washed it. We want to zest it. You don't want to attempt to zest this after you've already cut it to juice it. So you just take the little zester and just rake it across. You can see the little strings that come off. Lemon zest is wonderful. It gives a really nice flavor to baked goods. When you're making lemon bars, you just have to use the zest in there. Okay, so we pretty much have all the skin zested into the food processor. And now we'll take and cut the lemon in half. And we're going to use the entire lemon, so the juice of the whole lemon. And sometimes if your lemon has the little protrusion, I'll just cut that off so it fits in the juicer a little easier. There we go. And these are great to use for your garbage disposal, so don't throw these out. Or you can juice them. If you're going to be juicing later in the day, just save them in a Ziploc in your refrigerator. Or just toss them into your garbage disposal to freshen it up. Okay, so that's the juice of 2 lemons, the zest and the juice of 2 lemons. Go ahead and blend that. Okay, perfect. Perfect consistency. It's a little bit sticky, like tacky, so it'll spread well. And then we have 2 more ingredients. So we're gonna go ahead and add the red beet powder. And it comes with a scoop, which is about a teaspoon. So we're gonna do 2 teaspoons. It gives it a really nice pink color. You can do more, you can do less. You don't really taste it. And then we're gonna do a pinch of sea salt. And I always say this whenever we're making a recipe, when it comes to your sea salt, make sure it's either pink or gray, and it's from a quality company. So this is Premier Pink Sea Salt. It's a Himalayan pink sea salt. And then Celtic is another brand. It's usually gray. So those are good brands that we use. All right, I can finish processing now. Okay, so we blended it for, I guess about 2 minutes. So it's pretty mixed. The color is a consistent maroon. I actually added a little bit more than the bars that I previously made, so they're a little bit more of a beet color. So again, if you use 1 scoop, they'll be about this color, and if you put 2 scoops, they're a little bit more burgundy. But again, you don't really taste the beet, so you don't even have to tell anyone if you're making this for kids or for company. You can tell them it's a berry lemon bar, and then later after they eat them and like them, you can tell them they had some beet powder in them. All right, so now we're gonna need a little baking pan. So this is about, I guess about a 6 by 12 or 6 by 10, not aluminum, but a stainless steel baking sheet. You don't need to put parchment paper. The amount of coconut oil that's in here, it's not necessary. And then we're just gonna spread them right on the pan. So you can go ahead and pull your blade out just to make it easier. Such a pretty color, so this is be a great item to make for kids or for Valentine's Day. Okay, so got it all off out of the food processor, and it's so easy. Just kind of use your spatula to press this onto the pan. Okay, so we have it all nice and spread onto our baking sheet. And one little trick, because you're going to be freezing these, is to go ahead and pre-draw the squares. Makes it so much easier, because once you put it into the freezer and it's really hard, it's too hard to cut these little scores. So if you pre-score, it just makes it so much easier to pop them out of the pan. All right, so that is it. And a couple options for garnishing. You can just use more of the coconut flakes. You don't have to. You've minced it up enough where it doesn't have that texture. So if you know someone who doesn't like the texture of coconut flakes, don't use this as a topping, but I'm going to use it for mine because we love coconut. So you just kind of spread it on there. And then you can do the lemon pieces like I used on our ones that I made yesterday. So on these, I just cut little lemon pieces. And you can do them whenever you pull them out of the freezer, or you can do them now. Either way, doesn't matter. But you just put a little lemon piece on each one. You can use other items. You could use some nuts, would be a nice garnish. But that is it. So that is our no-bake lemon beet squares, and smell delicious. I'm going to pop them into the freezer, and they'll be in there just for a couple hours, maybe 3 hours, and then they're ready to go. So this would be a good thing to make early on in the day if you're going to be serving this for dinner as a dessert. All right, we hope you like this video. Make sure that you like our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share it with others so that they can enjoy these delicious recipes and our health tips. So I'm Dr. Katie Snow, here's to transforming your health naturally. See you next time. Bye-bye.